The courtroom fell silent as the judge's gavel cracked like thunder. My parents stared at me from across the room, eyes wide with horror. The secret I'd uncovered spilled out in cold, hard evidence, and in that moment, their perfect facade shattered forever. My name is Lila Monroe, and this is how everything changed. I stood there in the witness box, my hands trembling on the wooden rail. The air was thick with tension, the kind that presses down on your chest until you can barely breathe. My mother, elegant as always in her pearl necklace and tailored suit, shifted uncomfortably in her seat. My father, with his stern jaw and impeccable tie, avoided my gaze entirely. The lawyer paced slowly in front of me, holding up a stack of papers that felt like bombshells. "Miss Monroe," he said, his voice steady but laced with that dramatic edge lawyers love. "Can you please read aloud the highlighted section from this document?" I swallowed hard, my throat dry as sandpaper. It was an old email chain, dated back years, from before I even knew what betrayal truly meant. "Our daughter is useless," I read, my voice cracking on the word. "She's a burden we never wanted. We've hidden the truth long enough. The adoption papers prove she's not ours by blood." A gasp rippled through the courtroom. My parents' faces drained of color. My mother clutched her handbag tighter, her knuckles white. My father leaned forward, whispering furiously to their attorney. But it was too late. The words hung in the air like smoke after a fire. I glanced at the jury, 12 strangers, whose eyes were now filled with pity and shock. One woman dabbed at her tears with a tissue. The judge cleared his throat. "Continue, Miss Monroe." I nodded, flipping to the next page. "We'll disinherit her quietly. She doesn't deserve a penny after all the trouble she's caused." Trouble. My struggles in school, my anxiety attacks, my dreams that didn't align with their perfect image. Useless. I looked up, meeting my mother's eyes for the first time. There was no remorse there, just panic. The lawyer stepped closer. "And can you tell the court what this truth refers to?" I took a deep breath. "It's about my birth. They adopted me as a baby, but not legally. They bought me from a desperate woman, off the books, to cover up their own infertility shame. No papers filed, no records, just cash and lies." The courtroom erupted in murmurs. The bailiff called for order. My father slammed his fist on the table. Subtle, but I saw it. This was the moment I dreaded and craved. The exposure, the justice. But as I stepped down from the stand, my legs wobbling, I felt a hollow ache in my chest. The trial recessed for lunch. I slipped out into the hallway, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like angry bees. My best friend Sarah was waiting, her arms open. She pulled me into a hug. "You did it, Lila. You stood up to them." But as I buried my face in her shoulder, tears finally breaking free, I whispered, "It hurts so much more than I thought." We found a quiet bench outside the courthouse. The autumn wind whipped leaves around our feet. I was 8 when I first heard the word useless. It was after a school play. I'd forgotten my lines, frozen on stage like a deer in headlights. My parents dragged me home in silence. That night, over dinner, my father said it. "You're useless, Lila. We expect better from our blood." My mother nodded, sipping her wine. "Try harder next time." Every report card, every extracurricular, straight A's weren't enough. Piano lessons, dance classes. I excelled, but it was never praise, just criticism. "You're lazy. You're ungrateful. Useless." By high school, it escalated. I wanted to study art. They forced business courses. "You'll amount to nothing without structure," my father barked. My mother would smile sadly. "We're just looking out for you, dear." One night, I eavesdropped. "She's draining us," my father hissed. "If only we'd had a real child." I confronted them at 17. "Am I adopted?" They laughed it off. "Don't be ridiculous." College came. I got a scholarship, moved out. But the calls started. "We need you home for holidays. Help with the family business." I built my own life, a small apartment, a job as a graphic designer. They mocked it. Useless hobbies. Last Christmas, it boiled over. We were at the dinner table, turkey carved, wine poured. My father raised his glass. "To family, the ones who matter." Later in the kitchen, my mother cornered me. "You're disappointing us, Lila, after all we've sacrificed." I snapped. "What sacrifices?" You've never supported me. She slapped me. Hard. That night I left early. Drove home in tears. I started digging. Old family albums, no baby pictures of me, a tip from an estranged aunt. Ask about the agency. I hired a private investigator. Weeks later, the report came. Illegal adoption. My birth mother. Paid off. No legal trail. Emails. Hacked from my father's old account. Proof of disinheritance plans. I confronted them privately. They denied it. You're delusional. Then threatened. We'll ruin you if you speak. So I sued. For fraud, emotional distress, inheritance rights. The trial began last week. My birth mother testified yesterday. Tears streaming. I never wanted to give her up. Today was my turn. The lawyer called my father to the stand. Did you ever call your daughter useless? He hesitated. Parenting is tough. Words slip. And the adoption? Lies. She's ours. But the evidence mounted. Bank records, witnesses. By evening, the case was tilting. Sarah drove me home. You were brave today. That night, sleep evaded me. Childhood birthdays, overlooked, graduations, minimal attendance. Always the label, useless. The next day dawned gray. More witnesses, a family friend. They always treated her differently. My mother's turn. She cried prettily. We love her, but cross-examination cracked her. It's true, we were ashamed. The judge adjourned. Outside, reporters swarmed. Home alone, I collapsed. Sobs racked my body. The trial dragged on. Week 2, expert testimonies, psychologists on emotional abuse, classic narcissism. My parents' defense crumbled. Closing arguments loomed. I prepared my final statement. Heart pounding. This was it. The closing arguments echoed in the packed courtroom. My lawyer stood tall. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just about money or inheritance. It's about a lifetime of cruelty, hidden behind closed doors. My parents sat stone-faced, but I saw my mother's lip quiver. Their lawyer rose. A family dispute blown out of proportion. Lila is unstable. Always has been. Unstable. The word hit like a slap. He painted me as the villain. She's fabricating this for revenge. The judge instructed the jury. They filed out. Hours ticked by. I paced the hallway with Sarah. What if they side with them? Finally, the bailiff called us back. We find the defendants guilty on all counts. Relief flooded me. My parents slumped. The judge awarded damages, inheritance restored, plus emotional compensation, millions. But it felt empty. As we left, my mother approached. Lila, please. I turned away. No. Post-verdict, they appealed. Media frenzy. Headlines. Daughter destroys parents in court over useless label. Paparazzi at my door. Anonymous calls. You're a monster. One night, a brick through my window. Note attached. Useless bitch. I moved. New apartment. New locks. Old friends distanced. She tore her family apart. Boss pulled me aside. This drama, it's affecting morale. I quit. Started freelancing. Isolated. High school prom. I wanted a dress. Simple blue. They bought red. Date ditched me. They laughed. See? Useless at relationships, too. College acceptance. Full ride. They downplayed. We could have paid, if you were worth it. Boyfriends scrutinized. One ex confessed. Your dad threatened me. I met my birth mother post-trial. Cafe downtown. She looked like me. Tears flowed. I was 19. Broke. They offered $50,000. We hugged. The hospital room smelled of antiseptic. Monitors beeping softly. Sarah held my hand. You scared me. The doctor entered. Severe panic disorder. Pills prescribed. Discharged after 3 days. Home felt foreign. I stopped eating. Sarah moved in temporarily. Cooking for you. The word useless became my mantra. Age 7. Lost in a mall. Father. Useless. Age 12. Art contest win. They missed the ceremony. Age 18. First love. They sabotaged. Post-hospital. Isolation worsened. Birth mother calls. Ignored. One night, breakdown hit peak. Pills in hand. Sarah walked in. Screamed. Held me as I sobbed. Why won't it stop hurting? Therapy daily now. Group sessions. My parents arrested briefly. Contempt of court. Media. Daughter's victory turns parents criminal. Death threats. Restraining orders. Dreams of them breaking in. Old box found. Baby clothes. Note inside. Not ours. I curled on the floor, sobbing until dawn. I stopped therapy. Sarah begged. I pushed her away. Days blurred. No food. Contemplated ending it. Knife in drawer, a memory, my birth mother's voice. You were wanted. I called her. She rushed over, held me. I'm here now. We talked all night. Sarah returned. Trio now. Anniversary of trial. Relapse. Bedridden. Why me? Therapist visited home. You're grieving the family you never had. Letter from my father. Forgive. Tore it. My parents' final blow. Public interview. We're the victims. Went viral. I broke. Screamed into pillows. Punched walls. Birth mother bandaged. Cease and desist. Silence finally. I was at rock bottom. The breakdown complete, but in the abyss, a flicker. The flicker grew. Alex's hand in mine. Park bench. You don't have to be strong today. Therapy resumed. EMDR. Nightmares lessened. Useless faded. Clara moved closer. Dinners weekly. Laughter. Sarah planned celebrations. First freelance gig. Client praised. You're talented. Inheritance invested. I started a blog. Anonymous. Readers connected. My parents' empire crumbled. Bankrupt. House foreclosed. Clara and I volunteered. Adoption agencies. Alex proposed. Picnic. Yes. Wedding small. Sarah maid of honor. Clara walked me. Vows exchanged. Honeymoon. Beach. Career soared. My own firm. Blog turned book. Bestseller. Talks. From useless to unstoppable. One letter. Apology. I wrote back. No contact. Years passed. Children. 2. Loved fiercely. You are enough. The court case. Precedent set. Others won because of me. One night. Reflection. Mirror. Smiled back. Whole. The girl called useless. Gone. Woman warrior. Here. Living well. Best revenge. What would you do if this happened to you? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching The Wordy Revenge. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of betrayal, justice, and redemption. Until next time, stay strong and never stop believing in your truth.